Hey everybody, I'm Dennis Pittsenbarger, and we're here at ProTech, my friend Mike's shop, to give you an introduction to what we'll be doing with the $12.99 challenge, and that is something that we were very excited at Cars Illustrated to take on. Now I'm going to be met by my friend Mike in just a second here, but Mike's off doing something else.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, about time.
Well, we are, I have the magazine.
It's the weekend. It's the weekend.
I know it's the weekend. Let's do, okay, you ready?
I'm ready now.
Okay. Is it cold?
You want a drink?
I'll have one in a minute. Okay. All right, so here we are, Cars Illustrated. I'm Dennis Pittsenbarger. Mike Christopherson. Say hello, Mike Christopherson.
I'm sick of saying hello, Mike Christopherson.
Yeah, but you said it anyway, so too late. Hey, listen, we're having some fun here, and it's all because of this, Cars Illustrated magazine. What this is simply a challenge to let everyone and anyone go fast for very little money. This was developed back in the 80s with the magazine Cars Illustrated, where they challenged themselves to go $12.99 in the quarter mile for $1,299. Now they got really, really close. They got like a 13.2 in a B-body Mopar with a 383 and a 4-speed. And if you really think about that, going that fast for that cheap is a really big challenge. And it's something I'm really excited about taking part in.
It's going to be a fun project. I mean, this car's got the bones for it, so it's going to be easy. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's always famous last words. You're probably wondering, why do the $12.99 challenge? Well, it's really to prove that anyone can do it. I mean, $1,299 is not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money at all.
That's 3 hours in this shop.
That's considering the car and the equipment. Yeah, that goes super fast.
Yeah. Really, the whole essence and where it came from in Cars Illustrated back, what they did it originally, was to prove that anyone can have a fun car for very little money. You watch people spend ridiculous amounts of money on cars you have here in the shop.
If you're mechanically inclined, you should be able to do this. The problem is, not a lot of people are. They come in, $12.99, that's, on the low side, that's 13 hours of labor.
Yeah.
And that goes by putting gears in the rear end and headers on the car.
and it's over, your money's
and
gone.
And you're done, and that's not including parts, I mean, typically. But yeah, it goes like real quick. It
goes really quick. We did get lucky on this car, we'll talk about it in a second, but I think it's just proven that anyone, and any numbskull, as in numbskull A right here, and with help of a friend who knows what he's doing.
Not B.
Not B, not numbskull B. That we're going to take it on. I mean, I'm the test editor for Cars Illustrated magazine, and obviously Mike from going out and beating the crap out of new cars, but when we had the opportunity to find the right car, we took the challenge just like that. So now it's just time to kind of sit back and see where we're at. Well, you know what? We picked, I think, a winner for a car. We picked a 1991 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. I got it from a friend, Jason, who will be in some of the videos putting the car together. And we definitely have to thank Jason. $450.
It's a steal.
It's a steal. And the reason we got it for $450 is because a tweaker cut the trunk out. Somebody obviously, now the story behind the car is this. It is a 1991 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. It was ordered from the factory special. It is a hardtop car, which is really cool because T-tops suck. Sorry out there that you love the T-tops. I don't want them. What?
Is that a cigarette ad on the back of that?
No, this is a windjammer. It's actually, I think it's an ad for basically to go have sex with a bunch of people on a boat.
Nice.
Thanks for noticing that. That's on my reprint of Cars Illustrated.
That goes with cars.
It does, except for adventures for every body.
All right, so back to the car.
Anyway, back to the car. It's actually a special ordered L98 350 two-port injected 700R4 transmission. It has the G92 performance axle ratio, or axle package, which was the rear sway bar. So basically what this car is a 1LE with a radio and AC and drum brakes on the back.
Yep.
And since the radio's missing, it's that much closer to being a 1LE.
And we'll get rid of the AC.
We're going to get rid of the AC.
The goal is, $12.99. You buy the parts and you do the work yourself, or you pay somebody if they're going to do it for free. But
how much are you again?
Yeah, I'm free.
But we really did get lucky on the car, and we definitely want to thank Jason for that. But anyway, they special ordered the car, and then they drove it. He drove it. That's who was the original owner, and I have the registration and title and everything, the original owner. And then they let their son drive it, and unfortunately we didn't know that the son, or did they know, that he was a tweaker. And he decided to, when the fuel pump went out, it's pretty common in these cars that you have to drop the axle. And a lot of people do cut the rear trunk out, but this was the hack job of all hat jobs.
It's way easier to get a saw and cut the floor pan out versus buying some jack stands. So, when you're high, you just get a saw and cut the floor.
I don't do a lot of math. Have you experienced that here at the shop?
No, not recently.
Okay, as long as it wasn't recent. But anyway, it's a monstrous hole in the back, and up to date to bring you where this video starts. We have been lucky enough. We found the fuel pump system. You found that on Craigslist for $20. Taking advantage, luckily, of someone who hadn't fixed their IROC Camaro, bought a bunch of parts, and just never used it. I got lucky at a junkyard and found the donor piece and the trunk for the tank, excuse me, for $55. The guy wanted like 150. I mean, I just was like, dude, it's sitting there rotting. So far, we're in it $450 for the car and another $75 for what we think will fix the fuel system, but we haven't even turned it over yet.
And then we need to see if it runs.
And then, I hope it runs. Good on the car so far. Give me your top three, you think?
It's straight. The doors open and close without really a big problem. I mean, driver's side has a little stickiness.
Well, I fixed that.
But they shut just fine. Everything turns on, even all the lighting works. So, that's a great start. Everything underneath the engine is bone stock. I mean, it hasn't been raped by anybody, which is great, other than the tweaker in the trunk. But everything is stock. It's a super clean car. The paint looks like shit, but who cares?
That's the 80s. Well, that for me is kind of it. I mean, it's the right car in the sense that somebody special ordered the car. Mm-hmm. They knew they wanted performance, and they didn't want, these cars were known, even though 91, 92, they did a lot of differences in the composites that held the body together to kind of get away from the creaks and moans and groans. It's still a third-gen Camaro. Yep. And without the T-tops, it's a huge advantage. It being ordered with the 350 and the automatic and the performance axle is really cool. And everything's stock. I think that's a big, it's got some tires and wheels on it, but big deal.
I would have been disappointed if it showed up and it had a custom exhaust and somebody had hacked the shit out of the engine bay, trying to make it fast, and half the stuff didn't work on it. But right now, you got the battery in it, you turn the key on and lights all turn on, everything's powering up, the lights, exterior lights all work, which is a great sign. We don't have crazy gremlins as of yet right now with electrical. So
all right, now this is going to be our plan for the car. What are we going to do with the car? So we've got the car, $450. Mm-hmm. The stuff we bought for the fuel system, that was $75. So now we have $774 to get it to go $1299. Besides the obvious safety stuff, like you were talking about earlier before we were filming, we need to look at tires and brakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, we need to make sure we can stop. We need to make sure we don't have a tire blowout. The obvious safety things, fuel lines. So I've been on fire. I don't need to be on fire again.
I've been on fire in the 94 car as well. Yeah. Methanol is not a fun thing.
It's a great car.
It is a great car, but it has tried to kill us both. Let's hope this Camaro doesn't do the same thing. So, but with that $774, I think we need to look at, really, you talked about tapping into what a lot of other people have done over the past. We can't stress enough to try to, learn from other people. That's part of this whole thing. I've looked at gears. I found a set of used 410 gears, but then we have cost of the rebuild kit for the rear end. Can you get away with doing that? Yep. A lot of people talk about putting a stall converter in it to kind of try to really get the 60-foot time down. Mm-hmm. One of the big strengths of these L98 motors in these cars was torque. They had a really quick, lower bottom end power, but they didn't really like to rev. They just kind of flattened. Yeah. Of course, everybody just thinks that all we're going to do is strap a bottle in the back of it and spray it till it dies.
I'd like to do it without that, honestly.
Do you think we can do $12.99 without spraying it?
I think so. I think with just getting the motor to run really well, gear ratio, doing some little tweaks on the engine, I think, and then lightening it up. I don't think we're that far off, but
the thing about lightening it up is I'm really scared to gut the car or strip the car because it's a pretty nice car.
I don't want to strip it, but I want to lighten some stuff. We don't need the spare tire, if you want to call it that. We don't need the AC. We don't need the AC.
No.
There's a lot of stuff that we can lighten up quite a bit. You get rid of the AC, you're getting rid of the condenser, if we want to tear into the dash and get rid of the evaporator. But we could lighten up quite a bit of stuff without really stripping the car.
Yeah, these were about 3,400 pounds from the factory. If we got it under 3,000 pounds, I think that would be a big help to going $12.99. So, you know, with that said, you know, definitely, you know, Mike is on Facebook and Instagram. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. But really what we want you to do is go to carsillustrated.com and join the forum. There's already 3 or 4 guys that have joined with us to do the $12.99 challenge. And we want you to do that as well. You can go to the forum, sign in really easy, go to the section that says $12.99 challenge cars, and there's 3 or 4 guys, including one even from our hometown that we both used to race with, a guy named Dave Davis. So he's taking it on too, and you can as well. And follow along. Find Mike, it's Mike Christopherson. Find him on Facebook and Instagram. Find me, Dennis Pittsenbarger. But more importantly, find Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that. And give us your feedback. I mean, we've had some great feedback. Everything from getting a lighter driver because I weigh 265 pounds to all kinds of little tricks like 4-cylinder F-body springs and worn out struts in the front to let the car have some weight transfer. So
maybe a good idea would just to be have, how many is this? 2?
2.
God damn. Have the videographer jump in it. What does he weigh, 100 pounds?
I know. Well, I think, yeah, if John jumped in it, but then it wouldn't be $12.99 challenge with me. I mean, I finally get to drive a car. Don't you think I'd like to finally have my own car?
Well, everybody keeps giving us shit about getting a lighter driver, and we've got somebody that could jump in the car.
That's true. I mean, well, if you've seen him, and he will race in his underwear.
He will. I've stripped his pants off of him to be able to race.
And that's going to close this video right here from Cars Illustrated. Make sure and find us. Go to carsillustrated.com. Find out how to get reissues of Cars Illustrated magazine. And please, I can't stress enough, come along on this journey and we'll prove to you that anyone with $1,299 can go out and have a fun car. And I guess until the next video, we got some work to do.
And drinking.
Well, that you drink, it's Sunday. I got to go pick up my kid. So see you next video.